Hello everyone, Guy Gardner is here, and by the opportunity I'm gonna talk about Motherbox recruitment in general, how my approach is, what I would do if I was playing a new account, that I have a second account, so I have a bit more experience on that. So when you start a new account, there is an event here or next to it basically that allows you to recruit Batmobile, to have it as a reinforcement, and it's very very strong because Batmobile can put out stun, and it's very very helpful many times when you're struggling in a main stage or in a system recovery or whatever, a convergence crisis. You can reset it a few times until your Batmobile lands a few stuns, and this allows you to win when you otherwise wouldn't. It's very very nice to have, and I would prioritize around this. It says you don't have characters at the beginning. It says, I'm gonna get to later game stuff after that. It says that for every recruitment time you recruit in the mother box, like here basically, you gain extra points for unlocking the Batmobile. And after a few recruitment, you can try selecting here the characters that you want. First, I think it's for the characters that only the characters that you have already unlocked, and then after like another 40 or 80 pulls, you can try to get any epic that you want, and there is a 30% chance for each of the two epics. So it's 60% that you get one of the two that you want, another 40% is a random character that is not one of them. I would like push a lot of this. You gain many encrypted tokens, you gain a lot of diamonds that you can spend on this, and I would try to max out basically the unlocking the Batmobile because it's a limited time event. I think it runs for 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I don't remember it correctly. So you want to basically spam this, you unlock many characters, you maybe put a second char on a character that's strong that you like and that you will be using long term. If you want like some quick tips who to select here, I would go Green Arrow, he's good, and you need his fragment, 40 of his fragments to unlock Lex, so you can pull him once you have him a second to use Lex. Zatanna is very strong with Wonder Woman. John Constantine, but John Constantine you will also gain by calendar. Nightwing is very very strong. Ocean Master is a maybe overlooked character in the early game, at least for me. Healers like Kid Flash and Pandora are very nice. And some other characters can be helpful, like having a bigger Batman, having a Two-Face of course, having a Red Hood for Arena, and it's not too bad unlocking many characters. You kinda need to have 3 teams eventually, both in Elite Arena and in main stages, but I would push for that because you gain points by having some epics at 6 stars. So at 1 red, you gain more points by having one at 3 red. Generally speaking, I wouldn't spend any of this because you gain a lot of this the 8 metal from doing digital universe. This is a reward as many of those, and I remember in my main account this one I spent some on Batman or Nightwing or whatever because I wanted to level them up, and I didn't know how rare this was. I did it on my second account because I didn't unlock Wonder Woman. It's a bit you gain many of the super encrypted tokens, and yes, here you want to select Wonder Woman. It's the best character of the 3, and by far, and in the game. So you would also spam this, and if you unlock Wonder Woman, like I did in my first account, you will probably get enough to have and you rank her up, get enough for Batmobile. In my second account, I didn't unlock Wonder Woman, I didn't have enough super encrypted tokens to do that. You kinda need to be lucky, you have like 70 or 80 free to play in this time period. So, and it's 150 is the maximum that you will eventually get them. So I spent some 8th metal to bring Constantine to 3 red. I had already 40 fragments or whatever. I tried to buy as much as I could from the League Shop. I selected him. From Elite Arena you can select him. I think I used some there for Green Arrow to unlock legs. So I spent like 30 or whatever of 8 metal to unlock a Batmobile. Is definitely worth it. Batmobile is a one-time event that you need to have. It's very, very strong, and I would say it's my best artifact, my best reinforcement that I have, even though this gets unlocked a bit later in the game. After I do that, in the early game, you may want to push this a little bit more to get more fragments on some characters that you want to have a bit more like power on your elite arena and on your second team. After a while, you will need a second team, but there comes a point where you also unlock, I think it's 1830 after you beat that, you unlock the artifacts, and artifacts you can actually spend diamonds on them. So if you want here, you press this and you buy them, and with this you can open to pull for artifacts basically, and the chances are here. Eventually you will get every artifact basically after, if you pull them enough. At least you want to have the set bonus that gives you stats on your classes like DPS, tank and support. If you have some of them collected, and you kinda want to have like the lasso for Wonder Woman. I think you need to pull this like 480 or 120 times, and then you get one of those that you can select in epic. So there's a pretty system where you can select the purple and the gold artifacts, and you will eventually get some of them, and you kinda want to move away for a bit on spending diamonds here. If you know there's a character that is coming, you may want to hoard the encrypted tokens for this. As you see, what I did purposely is I did bring it to 39 out of 40, so I can next time when it comes around, it's guaranteed that I pull an epic, and it's 30% of him, 30% one of the for each of the two that I selected, so it's 90% the character that you would want. And for this you want to take into account this event to some degree. If you recruit 10 times per day, it gives you this that helps for the reinforcements, especially early game when you want to unlock them all. And seasonal, you get more, so if you spend those, you can have more basically to spend. You can have diamonds to spend, you can have super credit tokens, and if you bring him at link to 7, let me see where it says that, to rank 7. Yes, if you bring him to rank 7, it will give you another 40 fragments of his to bring him to rank 8. If there is a character here that I really want, like Killer Frost will probably be awesome in the game, I would start spending diamonds here, or maybe I would spend at the end of this, because maybe I'm close to the 7th, or to at least unlock him, so I would push it one more time with diamonds to go to one more epic guarantee, that says 40. So I would bet my chances for another 30% of this. Maybe you're in the early game and you need to have more epics from your desired end. The blue and the purple fragments that you will allow you to put more stars on characters, like you need them for all the epics. So maybe I would spend some diamonds there. but you also kind of want to balance artifacts in there, and after a while it feels like this one isn't really worth it. At least this one, and this to a smaller degree, is not worth it to spend diamonds on, because you have all the epics unlocked. You can have them where you want, and you can have fragments for epics by doing the system recovery. By every week in the league shop you can select cards that you want. In Elite Arena every month. Many of the epics that you may want are in shops, so it's also they're also available there, and you don't really. It's a bit annoying that you are getting the uncommons. It gives you like this 20 minutes, I think, that can be a little bit helpful with Titanium. It's a pity system, otherwise they are worthless. But I was also considering the flip side, especially for a spender, to start doing this. This basically is similar than this. It doesn't have a feature character like Guy Gardner. What I'm saying with encrypted tokens applies also to super encrypted, but first you want to select Wonder Woman, and then it's not great to pull here. So let's combine them a little bit. That to pull this here takes a long time, and there are also events like the previous one that was for Superman. So you kind of want to save them for the new characters. It takes a while to bring this to 150, but it's not horrible to push this, especially as a spender, when you have more of those. I kinda like to save them, and this you can push with the. It basically costs, instead of 200 diamonds, it costs 500, but it has only fragments that you need: blue, purple, epics, and there is a chance for legendary. That it's a pity system that in 150 it will give you one. As a free to play, you don't get too many diamonds, and this will take a long time to push. So definitely you want to invest in artifacts a bit to get some of them at a higher rank, so they do more stuff. Like this, for example, if first when you upgrade it gives you a bit damage amplification, 5%, then when you upgrade it again it gives you crit damage for the first strike. Those are nice to have, or like bringing this will give you 5% life steal, and will give you haste and frantic, which looks very nice. You would definitely want to take artifacts into account. I would definitely stop after a while going for this and maybe save them for future recruitment, because you will still have the desired character that you want, but there's also 30% for a new character to unlock, and you get some rewards by doing their event. Doing each one individually will give you something small as a reward as well. I don't have enough to open one. But this one ends up being very expensive, so tread with caution doing that. Playing the account for like 5 or 6 months, I have gotten 2 legendary pulls out of it. One in like 70 pulls, which was Deathstroke, and he's not extremely useful to red, besides like the current evil falls that we have with Owlman, which you really need bleed, because he puts out shields, and bleed stop shields or counter them. And I pulled it one more time, I wasn't lucky. I got 150 legendary guarantee, and I pulled the duplicates for Lex. So yes, you would want, if you were spending diamonds, instead of here, you would eventually, after you have all the epics that you want unlocked, and at that, let's say your main team at least at 3 red, maybe a bit higher, that you can put artifacts on them, you will start want to, instead of spending extra diamonds here. Originally just start spending them when there's a featured character, so hoarding them, or even start slowly doing this, hoping you will get a new legendary, but at the same time it's very, very slow. For free to play, you might get unlucky, you might get lucky and you pull a character faster and you pull a great legendary that otherwise there isn't really a way of getting them. I'm kind of hoarding those after you do Wonder Woman. I pulled it once to 150 and I got the Blue Beetle, and Blue Beetle is awesome. But maybe just get a duplicate or a character that's not as strong, like Supergirl at the moment is not great. So maybe it's better to hoard them for the event when you have again some legendary, some epics unlocked in Wonder Woman, because here pulling like a 10 per day, 5 per day, will give you more of this currency that you then can buy more of those, and some other stuff that you might like. So it's kind of better to hoard them, and maybe the new legendary will be better than an average pool. I'm not sure or that this always will be the case. So let's open 10 of those. One, because it's an epic guarantee, and it's Guy Gardner, yes. Okay, good luck with your pulls, everyone.